I'm Elizabeth Alfano, back with Dr. Scott Stoll. I'm wondering, we're going to head into the holidays. We're going to go right from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Can you give us some tips, and the New Year's, can you give us some tips on how to stay on track and stay healthy during the holidays?
I usually encourage people with a couple of things. As we started earlier, community and a supportive friend is really, really important. And I can't stress that enough because, walking through challenges, facing temptations and cravings and trying to overcome can be really, really challenging if you're doing it alone. So, getting together with a really good, encouraging friend and saying, hey, we're going to be healthy together as we go through this holiday season. Just simply that step alone can help make better choices than you would make if you tried to do on your own and depend upon your own self-will. That alone can make the holidays very successful. The second thing I really like to encourage people with is give yourself grace in the midst of the holidays too. One of the worst things that can happen is that in the midst of facing these challenges and, eating a couple bites here and there and having, cake or pie, is that we start to take on guilt and judge ourselves and bring shame. And, that alone begins to set this spiral in place where you're much more likely to say, well, it's over now. I've never had any self-discipline. I don't know what's wrong with me. I give up, and just kind of make that deep dive. So just realize it's important to give yourself grace. If you have that one, dessert or whatever happens in, a holiday, you have a fresh start the next day. The next day, the new morning, the sun comes up, it's a brand new day and you get to start fresh. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday because you have brand new choices that you can make today. Again, as we talked about earlier, it's setting yourself up for success at home. That's most important because our home is our home environment, and create a safe, healthy home. So if you receive these 24 cookies from Aunt Marge and, extra chocolate and all this stuff, I encourage people, don't take it home. You can sometimes, and I used to do this, pretend that I ate it and just throw it away. I know, but it's better in the garbage than actually going in, because we know if we take it home and if I put it on the counter, it will be gone, and it will be gone faster than I ever wanted it to be eaten. And so we just have to realize that, the power of food is more powerful than our own willpower. And so we can't set ourselves up to fight that battle at home. We just will not win. Yeah. So don't take it home. Leave it somewhere, but just, don't take it home. That's really, really important. Fill your house with wonderful, delicious options that you love. And I loved your suggestion earlier. You can do some prep work ahead of the holidays to cook healthy food. Have it in containers in your refrigerator. Have things in your pantry that are easy go-to meals. Have things that maybe meals that you've frozen that are available when you're busy. And so a little bit of work in the upfront weeks of November and putting a few things in place, or even ordering some healthy meals and keeping them frozen in your freezer refrigerator will really set you up for success as you face that busy, busy holiday season that's inevitable as we enter into the later part of November and December.
And what do you say about alcohol? A little bit, not so much? Where are you on that one?
I encourage people, if you want to have a glass of wine or an alcoholic beverage on a holiday, that's fine. Do it once, do it out. But don't, again, keep alcohol at home, because it's so tempting to go back and have another alcoholic beverage. And it's often tied to other things. As people you drink alcohol, you're more likely to start activating some of those reward circuits and craving other foods too. So I encourage, if you want to have alcohol, do it one day, do it out, but don't have it at home.
Mm-hmm. That's such a great tip. Yes. And I love your tip about community, because I think holidays can also be such a lonely time. And so particularly during COVID, we're going to see how that shakes out. And so if you can have a healthy eating buddy, and the two of you check in and you say okay, I'm good today, and I've got a party coming up, and I'm going to think of you, and I'm going to, stick to the veggie plates and the hummus dips. And there's always hummus at a party, folks, and that's an always good go-to. So, I always tell people too, because I teach a bunch of classes, usually called Jumpstart Your Plant-Based Life. And I always tell people, one of the tips for going to parties, no matter what the season, bring your own food. The hostess will love you. They'll say thank you for, helping me out with some of the work, and bring some of the stuff you can eat. Good guacamole with tomatoes and Tabasco and onions, and the healthy, carrots and celery sticks, and hummus. And there's so many different kinds of hummus that you can make, sweet potato hummus as well as regular hummus. You can, and that's just an easy, simple thing. I'm just thinking of dips, but there's so many other things you can make. That Brussels sprout salad. Make the stuff that you can eat, so that when you go to that party, you're not eating all the other stuff. You're eating the stuff that you made, so it's good for you. But anyways, just to riff off of what you're saying, I love that you're talking about community and having a buddy system. I think that's really helpful.
It is, and as you said, the holiday season is it's joyful for many, but it's very stressful for lots of people as well. We're engaging sometimes with people in relationships where there's been friction, and that can be stressful.
Yes.
There's financial pressures during the holidays. There's memories of the past. There's a lot of stuff that kind of flows through the holiday season that can make it difficult and make people feel lonely and isolated. And so that's why community is so, so important, and especially a positive, encouraging community. And I always encourage people, and I encourage your community to do the same thing. Use your words to speak life into somebody else's life as frequently and as often as you possibly can, because we just don't hear that very often in this world. It's rare that somebody would walk up to you and say, you know what, you are really amazing. And I appreciate your creative gift. And I appreciate the way that you're able to set a table and make people feel so welcome. So I really, even in the holiday season, I want to encourage all of you to look for as many opportunities as you can, whether it's online, in your personal lives, your work life, to speak life to people. And it's so wonderful, because our words are like seeds, and when we plant those in people, we will yield a harvest of joy in their lives.